Not really much I need to say, I guess. Everything's been said, so, and plus I know I'm on a timer. But Stacey already done told me, well, left home, don't be long. You know what? I'm incredibly honored tonight. And first, I want to just thank God from whom all my blessings flow. Without God, I'm nothing. And I couldn't do nothing without Him. And, you know, I'm so thankful for a mother that would never let me quit. Never, ever. There was one point in my life at Liberty University where I thought about quitting. And she said, you have never quit in your life, and you ain't gonna start today. And I picked right back up where I left off. And then our father that would always instill in us, his phrase was, nobody beats you when you work hard. That's what he said all the time. Nobody beats you when you work hard. And I remembered that, and I never forgot that. And he would always say that you can do anything in life that anybody else can do. And so he always instilled that level of confidence in me that I could do anything. And I believed that. And my brother Jared said that I was a perfectionist, and that when I set my mind to something, I wanted to see it through. I got a college teammate standing back there, Bobby Simmons. We played together at Lewisburg Junior College, and good to see him in the crowd. I remember when I went to Lewisburg Junior College, I had no idea what I was going into. From Sparta, obviously small town, no one in my family had went to college at the time. And my mom said I want at least one of my kids to get a college education, and no one had went. I was the fifth child. It got to me. It's like, I'll do that. Baseball was my ticket to get an education. It was the one thing I knew I could really excel at in life. And so I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to play college baseball. But that first day of practice, Bobby had to be like 100 some guys out there, right? I mean, I've had legendary coaches. I've been so blessed. We talked about Coach Earl Richards. And I know there's a lot of guys in here that played with Coach Earl Richards. And y'all know he didn't mess around. Like, you was going to do it Earl Richards' way, or it's going to be the highway. All there was to it. But he instilled in us that we was going to go out and play that game of baseball. When baseball season came, he didn't want you having a girlfriend, none of that stuff. It's all baseball. I ain't going to tell y'all what he said, but all the guys knew his phrase when baseball season came around. And so we had to stick to that. So I've had legendary coaches in my life, and I left high school and went to Lewisburg Junior College and I played for Coach Rush Frazier. He's an absolute legend. If anyone knows anything about junior college baseball, like, Lewisburg was a powerhouse. It's like 100 some kids that first day, and I'm like, all right, how am I gonna make this team? Because everybody was on scholarship, and I was like, okay, I'm the only guy from Virginia, and everybody else from North Carolina, that's where the college is. A couple guys from Seaford, Delaware. And so I said, what do I do well? I run. I said, I'm faster than everybody out here. I knew it. I said, I can run. I can run just as well as anybody. Can't about run me. It was one of the guys, Nat Norris. He was fast too. But I knew that you have to, when you're in a crowd of people, I say, how am I going to stick out? Like, what am I going to do that makes me stand out to these coaches? And I'm going to run. I'm going to let them know that I can run. I can run. I can throw the baseball. You know, so when you show them that you persisted and that you're dedicated to your craft, coaches like that, because coaching is about people you can trust. And when they trust that you're going to show up and that you're going to put in the work and that they don't have to worry about you in the classroom and all those things, then you're going to get a leg up. And a lot of times when it comes down to selecting players, some guys have equal talent, but the separators are the character and the work ethic. You know, I know he's going to rest because we got a game tomorrow. He's not going to party and drink all night long. So I'm going to choose that guy. So you have to learn how to separate yourself. And I was very disciplined in my life. And I thank my dad for that, because he was no nonsense and he didn't play. 7 brothers and sisters. Somebody was getting a whipping every night. Pretty much. So if it wasn't me, I was witnessing it. So I'm not doing that. So he raised us, you know, to be disciplined. And, you know, there are consequences for your actions. And That he instilled that in us. And so I took that stuff with me. When I left home, I took home with me because I represent my last name. And that's important. And I try to tell my son that, like, you represent your last name. Like, I'm a Beasley. Everywhere I go, I'm a Beasley. No matter where I'm at, I'm a Beasley. And not only do I represent my family name, I represent my hometown, I represent my community. I represent this whole community everywhere I go. And so I want to make sure that I represent it well. But I want to represent my family well first. My name, your name is important. My dad says he always tells us, it's important to have a good name, son. He said, your name means something. And so it's important to carry your name well, to a high esteem. And so even when I see kids disrespect their parents, I got a problem with that. I do. I don't have no parents. If I could have 1 minute with mine, I'd give anything for it. So cherish your parents. You know what? They put so much into us. They love us unconditionally. They support us when no one else will. And when things go down and everybody else is gone, they're there. They're there. And so that's the only thing tonight I wish could be different, that I could look at and see my mother and my father sitting there. But I believe that, there's a great cloud of witnesses. And I believe that they're in that number. I know that they know what's going on. And if they don't, then I'll tell them about it one day. Because I'm going to see them again. I know that. I'm thankful. My dad used to always tell us, put God first. That was the main thing about raising us, putting God first in everything that we did. Like he would tell us we wanted to go play ball. Me and Rodney wanted to go play ball on Sunday, and sometimes the game started early and we might have to miss church. And he said, if you miss church, you don't get no hits. I mean, he'd tell us, God ain't going to bless you. God is not going to bless you and skipping out, going playing ball. Say, go to church first and then go. And Rodney, no, we show up sometimes and they would say, them Beasley boys coming, but they going to church first. We might get there the third or fourth inning. We tell the boys, just keep the game close till we get there. We'll take care of business once we get there. But we was going to put God first in all things. And you know what? That's how I live my life, putting God first. I'm not perfect. No one in there is perfect. But God is number one in my life. I'm thankful for my wife. She allowed me to do this. This is coming up on 35 years of being in professional baseball. Now, I want to tell y'all something. This is not easy. Baseball gives a lot, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot. I've missed so much. I've missed so much time at home. I've missed time with my son growing up and things in his life I wish I could have been a part of. I wasn't. Always present on the phone and things of that nature. But sometimes those things eat at me because I can't get that back. You just can't get it back. But my family they've always supported what I do. They've always supported me, from 35 years of this. My wife supports me gone. I'm gone almost 8 months out of the year. I left home last year, February 13th. I got back November the 5th. Yeah, it's beautiful. We won the World Series. Yeah, I got a ring out of it. But I'm telling you, it wears on you after a while. And so I'm very blessed, and I'm not complaining about my job. I have a very cool job. I'm the entertainment on July the 4th. And when y'all cooking out and having parties and stuff, I'm at the ballpark like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. We the entertainment. And so that's the way it is. But where my boy Corey at? Where you at, Corey? Corey gonna follow me everywhere I go. That's my cousin, my first cousin. I don't care where I go. Corey will be there. Corey come anywhere. Anyway, and let me tell you something. It's something about having family with you sometimes. I mean, it gets lonely out there, and you don't have people that you can really relate to. And so it's good to see family. Corey, like, I'll be in LA, or I'll be here, I'll be there. Ain't nowhere Corey won't go, I'm telling you right now. And Stacy likes to go too. They riding partners now, because they like to go and check out the museums, which I'm glad Corey will come sometimes, because I don't want to get up at 8 o'clock and go to a museum. I got to go to the ballpark. I'm going to be there all night at the ballpark. When I come back, they sleep. But so But you know what? This has been a long and fun ride for me, and this is not a retirement deal. It kind of feels like it and sounds like it, but it's not. I just signed up for 2 more years. Yeah. Get that look off your face. I mean, I said 3 years ago I was going to retire. I'm thankful that I can retire. I tell people I'm one bad day away. I go to work and something hit me wrong or somebody hit me the wrong way now. I might be at the house by the evening time. So it's good. It's good to be in a position in your life where you can go to work. So I'm one bad day away. Don't get on my last nerve. So it hadn't always been like that, trust me, because this was an absolute grind to get to where I am tonight. This is a grind. I mean, I've rode buses. I've eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I've on the off season working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. It ain't like I fell into this and here life is great. Like it's easy. Your bills are easily paid and you got excess. No, that's not how it works. I started from the ground. I started from the absolute ground. Probably, you know, I came through Altoona. That was AA. We still won't make no money, you know, but when you're passionate about something, we were handling our business. But when you're passionate about something in your life, no matter what it is, Galatians 6 and 9, it says, if you can reap a harvest of blessing if you faint not. You don't quit. Don't stop. Like keep going. And that's what I would say, especially to the young kids here tonight, and even some of the middle age who are still striving and pushing to try to reach a goal in life. You can reach a harvest of blessing if you faint not. If you decide I'm not going to quit, I ain't going to stop, and I'm not going to give up. Because this thing that I put my name on is mine. It's mine. You know, we said God's got a blessing. What? With your name on it, right? All right. So if you believe that, then you keep going because people will tell you you can't do this, can't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not tall enough. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're everything. You're not good enough for someone else. But you don't have to live your life based on other people's opinion of you. You are who you say you are. And you can be who you say you want to be. And that's what I tell the players all the time. We decide who we are. We decide what we're going to do. We don't care about the other team. We respect them, but we believe in us. We know what we're going to do. We don't have to play them. We just got to play the game of baseball and do that thing right. And it doesn't matter what's going on the other side. If we play good ball, we'll win. Look at the World Series. Not just the World Series, the whole playoffs this year. We won 11 games on the road. 11-0 on the road. Historic. Never been done before. Can't be done again unless they change the format. But this is how good God is. We beat the Rays. That's an R. We beat the Orioles. That's an O. We beat the Astros. That's an A. And then we beat the Diamondbacks. That's a D. That spells road. And we went 11-0 on the road. God don't make no mistakes. And I don't take stuff for granted because I believe that when God bless you and do something, He's going to confirm that thing. And for me, that's confirmation. And we got a lot of players that profess Christ. They profess Christ. And I tell them when you doing these interviews after you don't hit that home run, and make sure you give God the glory. I told Adolis Garcia that, Nate Lowe that, I tell Evan Carter, all those guys that these are Christian guys. I said, don't you guys take the credit, man. Give God the glory because He'll elevate you even higher. This platform is not for me. It's for Him. This ain't about me. I haven't done anything, but because of His grace and His mercy, I'm here. I'm here. And I'm thankful that I can do this and give God glory. This is my ministry. This is my ministry. And I know I don't want this turned into church, but I can't talk about anything in my life and exclude God. I just can't do it. When I went through cancer, it was because of God. And I was all right with that. And somebody, David Lopes called me, and David Lopes is a major league player, historic from years. And he called me because he had already dealt with cancer. He said, man, how in the world you get cancer? And he said, well, I know one thing. Somebody had to get permission from the Lord for you to have cancer. I said, well, but I told my Aunt Cookie, what'd I tell you? I said, he chose the wrong one. Didn't I tell you? I said, the devil chose the wrong one. I said, because I was never going to give in to cancer. I did not give in. My wife can tell you from day one, I didn't cry, didn't lose a night's sleep over it. I said, I'm going to beat it because God is good. Now, there was a tumor in my body, and I'll tell this quick story, and I'm going to sit down because I'm going to give a little bit of time for some Q&A. I recognize that a lot of people have been on their feet for quite some time, and I appreciate that. However, there was a tumor in my body that after I did treatments, radiation, chemo, that tumor was still there after all the treatments. Didn't go away. And I mean, didn't shrink, didn't budge. Did it, Stacy? You saw it. You looking at it. So that was a Friday. I was having surgery that Monday. The surgery was going to determine whether or not I was going to wear an ostomy bag for the rest of my life. And I told the doctor, I'm not wearing an ostomy bag for the rest of my life. I say, my body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Nothing unclean is going to dwell in me. I say, my body will function the way God designed me to function. My doctor looked at me like I'm crazy because he's looking at this and he said, I don't think I can perform the surgery that you want to be performed. I said, Doc, don't worry about it. It will be performed. Maybe you're not going to do it. You'll be used to do it. I said, just hold on up. So we got back to the hotel that night. We were in Houston, and Stacey and I prayed. And I said, Lord, I've done everything medically that's been desired of me and everything that's been asked. All the chemo, all the radiation. I said, the tumor is still there, still significant. It had no effect on it. I said, I claimed this healing back in April. I claimed it, and I haven't doubted. I haven't wavered. I believe. And the Bible says, if you can believe, that's what it says. All it says, all you got to do is believe. And then it says, all things are possible if you believe. But it also says, any man that doubts or wavers in his faith, he should not believe that he can receive anything from the Lord. So you got to believe now, and it got to be an unwavering belief. I mean, you got to believe and don't have an inkling of doubt. You got to claim that thing like it's already done. Speak that which is not as if it's already done. And so I said, Lord, this is your time. You're going to show up, and you're going to show up Monday. And when that doctor gets inside of my body, he's going to have to give you the glory, because this is going to be something that only you can do. Monday morning, the doctor put me under, obviously, 7.5 hours surgery. And he updated Stacy after 3 hours. And he said, that tumor that we saw Friday, he'll not explain it, but it's not there. It's gone. That's how good God is. And I know God is good. He said it's only scar tissue. He said, we're going to clean up the margins, and he's going to be just fine. He performed the surgery, and everything went great. That's how I know who God is. I knew him before that, but you definitely can't tell me now. Can't nobody make me doubt him. I know too much about him. I know what he's done for my life.